Welcome to Real Talk with Reverend Sheffield. We're blessed to have Wayne County Treasurer Eric Sabri here with us, and this is being aired on WADL. Special edition in this pandemic crisis we're in. Want to make certain that you have all the information you need to make sure you stay safe and secure in your home. But welcome, Treasurer Sabri.
Oh, thanks, Dr. Sheffield.
Yeah, and we go a long way back. I think the perfect place to start would probably be Miller Junior High School. We both attended there. I don't know if people know a lot about you. You're not the kind of public official like the mayor and people like that they see on TV all the time, although you run commercials. So why don't you acquaint people with some information about you?
Well, you know, I grew up in Detroit. I was born in Chicago. We came to Detroit when I was 1. Then my dad, he worked for the Boy Scouts. He got transferred to New York for 4 years. Then we came back to Detroit.
Yeah.
So he worked here, and he was a director of the Boys Club. So we were all involved in sports. I had 3 brothers and 2 sisters. Went to school, and of course Miller, junior high.
Yeah.
I went to Catholic Central High School. Went on Outer Drive in Hubble.
Yes.
And I was a state weightlifting champion.
Really? I didn't know that. So you were athletic as well.
Yeah, we were all in sports because my dad he ran the boys club, so we were always up there.
Yeah. Just take a moment to talk about your dad, because I recently found out that he was your father. I did Speaking of Sports with him at WGPR when it first opened as the first African-American-owned television station. I did high school sports for him, in fact, and I didn't know he was your dad. Just a wonderful, wonderful guy.
Yeah, he had that great program with he was the first sports show on Detroit on TV.
Right.
He had a half hour with horse racing, then another half hour he had was with interviews. So we got to interview all the great athletes. Anybody, he even interviewed little high school and middle school athletes.
Yes.
He went throughout and interviewed everybody.
Now, was that the program prior to WGPR?
No, that was it.
Yeah, okay, well, okay, I mean, he sent me out with cameras, and Wilbert McCormick, by the way, was a big star at Northeastern High School at that time. That's how I got to know him, and I had cameras, and I would come back and give the score, show video, and it really lent itself to, these athletes being known and absolutely.
I remember the time when he was doing covering the Tigers game, and Reggie Jackson was playing for the Yankees.
Okay.
He and Billy Martin were fighting. They were arguing. You remember that?
Sure.
So Reggie Jackson said he wasn't doing any interviews with anybody, no press. He wasn't talking to the press anymore for a while. So then my dad went to him and said, "Look, I'm working for the black TV station.
Right.
I need to get an interview for the station."
Right.
He said, "I'm not doing no interviews. He said, just give me a couple minutes." He said, "Okay, I'll do it for you."
Right.
So then he, when the managers came out with the lineups at the home plate, then he and my dad was standing. Reggie Jackson, my dad he did an interview, gave a 10-minute interview.
Wow.
Out there by the first base side.
Wow.
And all the other reporters just had to stay and watch.
Do you have the film of that?
I don't have that one. I have the one we did with Muhammad Ali and with.
Well, you know Karen Hudson?
Yeah.
We got to put you in touch with her because they've been digging up some of the archives of stuff that was over there.
And also with Jesse Owens. I got good information.
Absolutely. Now, you're the Wayne County Treasurer, and I think people need to know what the Wayne County Treasurer is responsible for.
Well, Wayne County Treasurer is responsible for, he's a custodian. I'm the custodian of all the money for the county, in charge of investing the county's money and collecting delinquent taxes. And making payments, too, making sure that vendors get paid, that payroll is taken care of, retirees get paid. So it's custodian of the money, making sure payments are done on time, investing the county's money, and collecting delinquent taxes. And doing the settlements with all the local communities and taxing authorities. Yeah. Every month we settle when the current taxes come in. We settle with all the taxing authorities.
Now help us understand, because there was a time, and probably still is, that you pay your taxes directly to the city. When they're delinquent, then they pay the county. Is that how that works? Just explain that. And then when is a property in jeopardy of foreclosure?
Well, first, before I go any further, I want to just say that during this COVID-19 pandemic that we're dealing with right now, our number one concern is this health and safety of the employees and taxpayers that we deal with. So I want to say that first. That's number one. So then I'll go and explain.
Yeah, that'd be fine. And we're going to deal with that in greater length so people know all the opportunities they have, whether they need to be worried, and how that has impacted your operation. But I don't know if people, because we have a kiosk here, by the way, you can't see it, and people come to pay taxes and they're confused about when the property's at risk of being lost, how they can redeem it. Now, it used to be years ago, I think you had to be delinquent 3 years or something before. All that's changed, though.
Still 3 years, but
Okay.
let me tell you what happened.
Okay.
In 1999, Public Act 123 was passed. And it changed the way property taxes were collected. Excuse me. So the city used to collect current taxes, its current tax, and the county collect its taxes. So it was a separate. And what happened a lot of times, people, they didn't pay the city tax, but they said, you better pay the county tax because they'll foreclose.
Right.
So it was always a
So they
small.
neglected the city. And I remember those days when people say, if you don't lose your house, at least you pay the county, you're all right. Yeah.
You're okay.
Yeah.
And so in 1999, they combined it so that the cities and all the municipalities in Wayne County collect the current taxes. And after the first year, if they don't collect it, they turn it over to the county treasurer.
Okay. So let's back up. So now, if you pay the current year and anything, if it's not the current year, then that goes to you to collect. So only the current year is paid directly to the municipality.
You get the summer taxes come out July 1st.
Right.
The winter taxes come out December 1st.
Okay.
On March 1st of the next year, whatever's not collected is turned over to the Wayne County treasurer.
Okay. And you collect that, and then you eventually share that back with. I think you guys pay them up front for whatever. Yeah.
Borrow the money.
Right.
We borrow the money,
Right.
pay them up front,
Right.
and we collect the debt.
Okay.
And then
Okay.
we also back charge them a year later
Okay.
what we don't collect.
Okay. So you go back and get your money if you don't get the.
We're made whole, so we don't go in a hole.
Okay. So what are some of the things that you have in place? And we're going to talk in the next segment about what you're doing to ease the burden in this pandemic. I want that to stand alone so people know what they don't have to worry about, how things are going to work. But what are the different ways by which people can pay, and what do you have in place to help people?
Right now, because of this pandemic, this coronavirus, I made the decision not to foreclose at all on any properties this year. It's just too many people struggling, and it just didn't make sense. So
Say that again.
because
No, you need to say it again, Eric. And it's a powerful thing you just said. I made the decision.
I made a decision
Right.
to not to have any foreclosures this year.
So nobody can lose their property.
They're probably because you worried about your health,
Right.
family members, everybody's losing their jobs, getting laid off.
So what does that do for somebody who's already struggling to pay? You've postponed foreclosures. Now when you come back to a regular active status, will you have some way of helping them so that maybe the additional taxes that accumulated will not be too great a burden for them?
Here's what we're going to do. We're going to have counseling. As we have cashiers, of course. We're going to have more counselors to help people figure out what kind of payment plan they can get on. Because my advice to most of the taxpayers is pay what you can right now.
Just don't stop paying because you're not going to be foreclosed.
If you're on a payment plan, for instance, and your payment is $300 a month, maybe you only can pay $100, $150, whatever it is. Pay that.
Yes.
Because they'll keep you from falling that much
Further behind. Right.
So next year we're going to have to work. We're going to work with people, so they don't have to worry about losing their property this year. Next year we're going to work with them, so we don't want them to lose it next year either.
Right.
We're going to continue to work with people.
So there's going to be some understanding. Pandemic has had an impact. You're suggesting that if they can't pay everything, they pay something, so that when you get to that point, it won't be a humongous amount of money you owe, and it's more manageable.
You won't be so far behind.
Okay.
That's because that's the danger. That's the thing I worry most about, being falling so far behind that it's hard to catch up.
So I get confused with some of this myself. So now anything past the current year goes to the county to collect.
Right.
At what point, Treasurer Sabri, then do you begin to foreclose on that property?
Okay, I'll give an example. This is 2020. Right now, if we were going to foreclose on properties, it would be the 2017 and prior taxes. If you had 17s or 16, anything before 17, including 17, we'll get foreclosed this year. Next year, this time next year, we're talking about 2018 taxes, anything prior. So a lot of people are going to have some 17s that weren't paid and the 18s.
Okay.
So my advice is to try to pay as much as you can, keep the interest down, and we'll work with the people next year.
And speaking of working with people, let's just take a moment while we're here right now to tell people how they can contact you during this pandemic to make certain everything's all right. And then in the future, you do payment arrangements and all of that. Right. I think it's important for folks to know. Just tell us.
Well, we want folks to continue to pay. You can use the kiosk. You can pay online. You can pay by U.S. mail.
Do you have a graphic maybe we can put up with all the places or locations?
I would direct everyone to our website.
So your website, there you can find
www.treasurer.waynecounty.com.
Okay.
www.treasurer.waynecounty.com. Yeah. And we have all the updates,
sure,
kiosk locations, okay, and how you can.
And by the way, if you don't know what a kiosk location is, we'll put one up on the screen. It's where you can go and pay your bill in the community. In fact, you can come right here to the Sheffield Center and pay. But go ahead and finish.
And also, I'll just bring up something about the kiosk. Some of the locations are wiping these down with sanitizer. And you have some here, the wipes. Yeah. Before you use the kiosk, wipe it down, right, so that you keep it sanitized. Right. And that's what we ask all the locations to have available for people to use. So we just want people to know that you can pay, get into a payment plan still, but you have to do it by mail right now. All of our phone center is down. We're closed to the public. Okay. But we're going to open back up gradually, but it'll probably be by appointments. Okay. Once we open up the phone center, then people can call and get an appointment, because we can't have the 300 people in the office lined up during this situation.
So let's back up. I hate to keep cutting you off. It just triggers thought. When you said they can make arrangements by mail, how do they do that?
Okay, what they do is just contact us by mail, send a letter, or email. Email us at taxinfo@waynecounty.com.
Taxinfo at
waynecounty.com. Okay. Or write us a letter, which is a slow way, but it works. Okay. 400 Monroe, Wayne County Treasurer's Office, 400 Monroe.
Detroit 48226.
Fifth floor, Detroit 48226.
And say in that letter, look, I want to make arrangements to pay.
And then we have two people working in our staff, remotely and in the office during this time, taking care of that.
All right, let's take a break. When we come back, more with the Honorable Eric Sabri, my classmate from Miller Junior High School, doing a fantastic job. The most important thing he says, he's not going to foreclose on anybody's house this year. The pandemic has postponed that, but also ease your burden, keep paying something till you can get an agreement when you come back. We'll be right back after this.
This is an important message from the Wayne County Treasurer, Eric Sabri.
Currently, the Wayne County Treasurer's Office is closed to the public. This decision was made in order to mitigate the spread of the coronavirus. We are in total agreement with the Governor's emergency declaration and the efforts of Wayne County leadership to protect the health and safety of our employees and the taxpayers who visit our office. Given the emergency declaration, we have suspended foreclosure activity for the 2020 calendar year. If you have delinquent taxes, they still must be paid. Taxpayers are encouraged to make tax payments by paying online at one of the 70 DivDat kiosks located throughout the county, through the U.S. mail or mobile app. For more information and updates, please visit the Wayne County Treasurer's website at treasurer.waynecounty.com or email us at taxinfo@waynecounty.com. We are all in this together, and we don't know how long this emergency situation will last. I appreciate your patience and cooperation.
Hello, Detroit. I am City Council President Pro Tem Mary Sheffield, and I want all of you all to know that during these very difficult times, my heart, my prayer, and my thoughts are with you all. I want to extend my condolences to anyone who has lost a family member, a friend, or a loved one to COVID-19. I also want to encourage and motivate and uplift individuals that are battling with this virus, who have symptoms, to let you know that there is a community of people here that are pulling for your full and speedy recovery. I believe that this virus and these challenging times have let us know that all of our destinies are infinitely tied together, and that it takes each and every one of us to pull through this and make it to the other side. These trying times have also taught us that we live in the midst of real life heroes. People who deserve our respect, our gratitude, and most importantly, our support. Individuals like our first responders, our healthcare professionals, our bus drivers, our grocery store employees, all of the employees that are still working during this crisis because they are deemed essential services. I just want you to know that we thank you for your selfless service to the residents here in the city of Detroit. And so I want all of us to take this very seriously and please adhere to the guidelines and recommendations on social distancing. I know that we as a city will get through this together. And if we play our parts, we will reduce the spread and we will save lives. And so I just want you to stay positive, to keep your spirits high during this very difficult time. And I know that our spirit, the spirit of Detroit, will not be broken. So I send you love, I send you encouragement, and every single day find hope and positivity because it's still here. God bless you all, and my prayers and thoughts are with you.
We've been enjoying our conversation here with a good friend of ours, Eric Sabri, Treasurer Eric Sabri, who does an awful lot of work to make certain that people can stay in their homes. That's pre-pandemic. This is not something new. You have a plethora of things that could happen. Let's just take a moment and you run down what people need to do to make arrangements, how they can stay in their homes. He's made an important announcement here. It's been made elsewhere that no one's going to be foreclosed in this pandemic. But what help do you have? And then we're going to get into, how this has affected your operation.
Okay. Many of our, Reverend Sheffield, many of our employees were furloughed, but we're essential people we still have working, either in the office or remotely from home. Mm-hmm. And those people who already have payment plans, we just encourage them to keep making your payments.
Maintain them.
Yeah, maintain them by mail, online, or at the kiosk.
Yeah.
And people are still paying, even though our payments are down, which we expected, because a lot of people are hurting right now. Mm-hmm. But we had to, because our employees aren't all there, we had to shut down our phone center, which is really important part of our office. So we're encouraging people to email us.
Right.
What's
the tax info at
WayneCounty.com.
Okay.
We've had over 3,500 emails since the pandemic started.
Okay.
So people are using it.
Sure.
And we're answering the emails.
Sure.
And that's working out pretty well. We just want people not to get discouraged, not to panic, but just to realize we're here. We're going to work with them.
Yeah.
We're going to work with the taxpayers as we have in the past.
Yeah. So, we deal with Detroit Edison here a lot where we make arrangements for people. And I tell people all the time, the bill's not going to go away. They wait till the day it's going to be disconnected to call us to intervene. Is this a situation where it's advisable for them to reach out and make some contact, or they just can be absolutely certain that they're not going to be foreclosed, but your advice is that they keep paying? What should they really do?
Number one thing they should do is communicate with our office.
Okay.
People should communicate with us because now we have a little extra time. Because we're not going to have foreclosures this year. So now you got a little extra time. Don't wait till the last minute. Yeah. Because then you're going to have to. And
don't let the money pile up because it's going to be even more difficult. I imagine the more you owe, the more you have to pay per month.
Well, the interest is for homeowners. It's owner occupants is 6% a year.
Okay.
0.5% a month.
Yeah.
For anybody else, it's 18% a year.
Wow.
Which is 1.5% a month, which is very high.
Yeah.
So I would say make some payments, pay something on it. Otherwise, it's going to be harder next year.
Yeah. If it's already hard, it's going to be harder. So you have a great program called Pay As You Stay. Let's take a moment and talk about that. That's a positive.
Pay As You Stay program is designed. It's a new law, Public Act 33, just signed into law in March this year. It allows anyone that's exempt for property taxes because of their income, allows them to enter into a program which will eliminate most of their back taxes. If you're exempt and you have some back taxes already, which means that you don't have to pay current taxes because you're exempt, but maybe you had some taxes from 2017, 18, and 19 before you got your exemption, then this program will help eliminate about 90% 85, 90% of those taxes. And we sent out 4,200 letters last week to eligible applicants, and we're working with them. We ask you, if you get a letter from us, follow the instructions in the letter, because we don't have a phone system yet. Hopefully in June we'll have our call center back up.
Okay.
But they have to contact us by mail or email, and we'll tell them.
So is there a time frame by which they have to respond for that?
They're supposed to respond. They have no time frame just to respond. But
Okay.
There's a part of their program which allows them to get another 10% off if they
Right.
respond they pay the lump sum
Okay.
amount within 90 days.
Right.
They can do that. And also with this plan, with this program, you can do it online. We set up a payment plan online, which we hope to do for all of our payment plans in the near future. We're working on that right now.
Yeah.
We have it so if you get a letter on Pay As You Stay, you can apply online and make your payment through the kiosk or online or through the mail. Show proof of payment, and then you can just send it in
Yeah.
online. So
And
you
there's
don't have to even
one,
come in.
yeah, one thing is important to note, the kiosks, there are no fees.
No fees.
You can come into the Sheffield Center, whether there's a DivDac kiosk, pay that, and there's no fees. So in terms of tax exemption, that's another way to prevent foreclosure. We do that here at our site.
Right,
We've been
you do
funded.
workshops here.
Yes, and we get that done for people all the time. Tell people about the exemption and how's that impacted? Have they increased? We certainly encourage people to get it if you're eligible,
Right,
but
you're eligible,
yeah.
We expect it to increase because of this pandemic, people losing their jobs, their income's going to go down, so some people that weren't eligible may become eligible in the future. We just encourage people to look into, if you're a veteran, and you're disabled, 100% disabled, you can apply for the exemption.
Okay.
It has nothing to do with this low income.
Right,
That's a separate exemption.
right.
You should apply for that.
Well,
But-
people be surprised though. I mean, it's like 30-some thousand for a family of 5 or 6. I mean, and then they do massage those guidelines some. So there's a significant number of folks we know, Treasurer, out there who are eligible for this, who have not applied. And exemption is important because if they are eligible for the exemption, then they may not have to be worried about foreclosure.
Exactly. They won't
Yeah.
have to worry about the current taxes.
Right.
And they'll be exempt from paying taxes.
Have they extended it beyond 1 year? I know that there was some proposed legislation. Is it basically, it's not retroactive, right?
It's not retroactive.
Right.
It's a 3-year window for this program.
Okay.
Pay As You Stay.
Yeah,
3-year window. You have to do it within the 3 years.
okay. And then the tax exemption, that's only for, you can only apply in the current year,
You
right?
have to do it every year.
Every
You
year.
have to apply every year.
Wow, that's,
They're trying to streamline it so that
Yeah.
people can just fill out a card or check a box.
yeah.
And do it.
Well, we have
But
people that
that's-
come in here all the time, and I know it's not an easy process for people. We have notaries and all of that. So let's talk about the census, you know.
That's a city function though, too.
It
That's
is.
the city assessor's office.
Right.
And the Board of Review.
Yes.
So you have to go see your assessor to know that if you're eligible for the.
Well, they can come here.
They come here.
They come out. Yeah, we'll tell you. We got all the guidelines, and we have 6 people who do this. Mary Brazelton, who's used to be on the Board of Assessors, is here working with us. So we got a great operation, and we help people do that.
You do a great job here.
Yeah, we appreciate that. So now, the census. You know, I called you up, asked you and my daughter to do commercials, which we run on a regular basis on my show. How does the census impact your operation? And then talk about the importance of people participating in it.
Well, the census is very important because so many of our services count on federal dollars, depend on federal dollars. If we don't get counted, we lose those dollars. And so that's, and also it gives us representation in Congress. We don't get counted, we don't get representation.
Right.
It lessens our strength
Right.
as a community.
Right.
And hurts us with resources.
So we got to be counted, and it really counts that we have a treasurer in place who's concerned about the community, trying to find every conceivable way to keep people in their homes. He's not the ogre, waiting for the first little slip to, take your property away. No, he's there, but you have to contact his office. What is it
The
again?
best way to contact us is taxinfo, TAXINFO, @waynecounty.com. until we get our phone center back up.
Yeah.
That's the way to do it.
And
Go
then-
to our website, which is treasure.waynecounty.com.
All right, and just take 15, 20 seconds and tell people why it's important for them to stay home in this pandemic.
Stay home and stay safe, because you don't have to have symptoms to spread, and you don't have to have symptoms from other people to give it to you.
Yeah.
So stay home, stay safe, and we want to collect taxes, but we want to have compassion.
Yeah.
That's what we're going to do. We're going to work with you as we have in the past.
This is Reverend Horace Sheffield talking with Wayne County Treasurer Eric Sabri. Stay home, stay safe, stay smart.
This is an important message from the Wayne County Treasurer Eric Sabri.
Currently, the Wayne County Treasurer's Office is closed to the public. This decision was made in order to mitigate the spread of the coronavirus. We are in total agreement with the Governor's emergency declaration and the efforts of Wayne County leadership to protect the health and safety of our employees and the taxpayers who visit our office. Given the emergency declaration, we have suspended foreclosure activity for the 2020 calendar year. If you have delinquent taxes, they still must be paid. Taxpayers are encouraged to make tax payments by paying online at one of the 70 DivDat kiosks located throughout the county, through the U.S. mail or mobile app. For more information and updates, please visit the Wayne County Treasurer's website at treasurer.waynecounty.com or email us at taxinfo@waynecounty.com.
Hello, Detroit. I am City Council President Pro Tem Mary Sheffield. And I want all of you all to know that during these very difficult times, my heart, my prayer, and my thoughts are with you all. I want to extend my condolences to anyone who has lost a family member, a friend, or a loved one to COVID-19. I also want to encourage and motivate and uplift individuals that are battling with this virus, who have symptoms, to let you know that there is a community of people here that are pulling for your full and speedy recovery. I believe that this virus in these challenging times have let us know that all of our destinies are infinitely tied together, and that it takes each and every one of us to pull through this and make it to the other side. These trying times have also taught us that we live in the midst of real life heroes. People who deserve our respect, our gratitude, and most importantly, our support. Individuals like our first responders, our healthcare professionals, our bus drivers, our grocery store employees, all of the employees that are still working during this crisis because they are deemed essential services. I just want you to know that we thank you for your selfless service to the residents here in the city of Detroit. And so I want all of us to take this very seriously, and please adhere to the guidelines and recommendations on social distancing. I know that we as a city will get through this together. And if we play our parts, we will reduce the spread and we will save lives. And so I just want you to stay positive, to keep your spirits high during this very difficult time,